Chaos erupted as the screams pierced the night. Erica sprinted down the deserted city street, her heart pounding in her ears. The creatures that had once been human shambled after her, their lifeless eyes and gaping maws hungering for her flesh. She'd seen the transformation firsthand, the virus mutating, warping the infected into something unholy. What had started as a minor outbreak had exploded into a full-blown apocalypse, the undead hordes overwhelming the last pockets of resistance. Erica's lungs burned as she pushed her body to its limits, ducking down an alley and vaulting over a toppled dumpster. The zombies followed, their grotesque forms moving with unnatural speed and coordination. This was no ordinary horde. The virus had evolved, granting its victims horrifying new abilities. Keep moving. Erica urged herself, her boots pounding against the cracked pavement. She couldn't afford to slow down. These creatures were relentless, driven by an insatiable hunger that no longer resembled anything human. Rounding a corner, Erica spotted a dilapidated storefront, its windows boarded up. Shelter. She sprinted towards the entrance, her fingers grasping the handle of the heavy metal door. It was locked, but after a few frantic tugs, the rusty mechanism gave way, and she wrenched it open, slipping inside just as the first of the zombies reached her. Slamming the door shut, Erica braced herself against it, heart racing as the creatures outside slammed against the barrier, their eerie moans echoing through the abandoned building. She'd bought herself a brief respite, but she knew it wouldn't last. These undead nightmares were unlike anything she'd ever encountered before. They were learning, adapting, becoming more coordinated with each passing hour. Erica scanned the dim interior, searching for a way out. Shelves and debris littered the floor, casting long shadows in the fading daylight that filtered through the boarded-up windows. Think, Erica. Think. She whispered to herself, her mind racing. She needed to find a weapon, some way to defend herself against the horrors outside. A sudden crash from deeper within the store made her freeze, her breath catching in her throat. Something else is in here. Erica gripped a nearby metal pipe, her knuckles turning white as she advanced cautiously, every sense on high alert. The shadows shifted, and she caught a glimpse of movement, a figure, hunched and shambling, its features obscured by the gloom. Erica tensed, her grip tightening on the pipe as the figure emerged, revealing a face that made her blood run cold. It was a woman, her skin a sickly, grayish hue, her eyes vacant and lifeless. Erica had seen the transformation firsthand, but this was something else entirely. The woman's limbs were elongated, her fingers twisted into sharp, claw-like talons. Her mouth hung open in a silent scream, revealing rows of jagged, inhuman teeth. No. Erica breathed, her voice trembling. This was no ordinary zombie. It was a new, mutated form, a twisted abomination that defied all logic. And it was advancing towards her, its movements fluid and predatory. Erica steeled herself, her grip on the pipe unwavering. She knew in her heart that she was facing a battle for her life. A battle against an enemy that had evolved beyond anything she could have imagined. The future had become a waking nightmare, and she was its sole survivor. This is only the beginning. Erica's heart pounded in her chest as the mutated zombie stalked towards her, its elongated limbs carrying it with unnatural grace. She gripped the metal pipe tighter, her knuckles turning white as she prepared to fight for her life. The creature let out a bone-chilling screech, its jaws unhinging to reveal rows of jagged, razor-sharp teeth. Erica braced herself, swinging the pipe with all her might as the zombie lunged forward. The metal connected with its grotesque head, and the creature reeled back, screeching in pain. But it didn't stay down for long. The virus had granted it a resilience that defied all logic, and it quickly regained its footing, its unnaturally long limbs lashing out towards Erica. She narrowly dodged the attack, her heart racing as she realized the true extent of this new threat. What are you? Erica whispered, her voice laced with a mixture of fear and horror. The zombie responded with a guttural roar, its movements becoming more erratic and unpredictable. It was clear that this was no ordinary undead creature. The virus had mutated it, imbuing it with a level of intelligence and savagery that Erica had never encountered before. Backing away, Erica scanned the room, searching for anything she could use as a weapon. Her eyes landed on a metal shelving unit, its sharp edges glinting in the fading light. Without hesitation, she grabbed one of the shelves and swung it with all her might, the jagged edge slicing through the zombie's flesh. The creature howled in pain, black ooze seeping from the deep gash. But still, it refused to go down, its movements becoming more frenzied and desperate. Erica realized with a sinking feeling that she was dealing with an enemy that would not be easily defeated. As the zombie lunged at her again, Erica dodged, her mind racing. She had to find a way to stop this creature, to put an end to the nightmare that had engulfed the world. But how could she defeat an enemy that seemed immune to normal methods of destruction? Erica's eyes narrowed as a plan began to form in her mind. She gripped the metal shelf tighter, her muscles training, and with a deep breath, she charged towards the mutated zombie, her makeshift weapon raised high. The creature swiped at her with its razor-sharp claws, but Erica was faster, ducking beneath the attack and driving the jagged edge of the shelf deep into the zombie's chest. The creature let out a horrific scream, its limbs thrashing wildly as Erica pushed harder, driving the metal deeper. Finally, the zombie's movements slowed, and Erica knew she had found its weakness. With a final, agonizing screech, the creature crumpled to the ground, motionless. Erica stepped back, her chest heaving, her heart pounding in her ears. She had survived the encounter, but she knew this was only the beginning. The virus had mutated, and the zombies were now more dangerous than ever before. As she surveyed the destruction around her, Erica steeled her resolve. She would find a way to stop this nightmare, no matter the cost. The world had descended into chaos, and she was the only one who could put an end to it. Erica's chest heaved as she stared down at the mutated zombie's lifeless form. The creature's unnatural limbs were splayed out at odd angles, a pool of black ooze seeping from the deep gash in its chest. She had managed to defeat this one, but she knew there would be more, and they would be even more formidable. Gripping the makeshift metal weapon tightly, Erica cautiously made her way through the abandoned store, her senses on high alert. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and the eerie silence was broken only by the distant sound of moans and screams. As she moved deeper into the building, Erica's mind raced. The virus had clearly mutated, granting the zombies terrifying new abilities. Their coordination, their speed, their resilience, it was all far beyond what she had encountered before. This was no longer a simple horde of the undead. These creatures were evolving, adapting, becoming a true force to be reckoned with. Erica paused, straining her ears. The moans were growing louder, more frenzied. She could hear the unmistakable sound of shuffling feet, of bodies moving with unnatural grace. Gritting her teeth, she pressed on, her eyes scanning the shadows for any sign of movement. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the building, and Erica whirled around, her weapon raised. A group of zombies had smashed through a boarded-up window, their disfigured forms spilling into the room. Erica's heart pounded as she recognized the same elongated limbs and jagged teeth that had marked the mutated creature she had just fought. No. She breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. These were no ordinary zombies. They were the evolved, mutated forms, and they were converging on her position. Erica knew she couldn't stay and fight. She was outnumbered and outmatched, her makeshift weapon no match for the savage power of the creatures before her. Turning on her heel, she ran, her boots pounding against the cracked linoleum as she desperately searched for a way out. The zombies followed, their movements fluid and coordinated. Erica could hear their eerie moans behind her, the sound sending shivers down her spine. She knew they were closing in, their hunger driving them forward with relentless determination. As Erica rounded a corner, she caught a glimpse of a familiar sight, a set of stairs leading up to the second floor. Without hesitation, she sprinted towards them, taking the steps two at a time. If she could reach the upper level, she might be able to find a way to escape the building and the horde of mutated zombies closing in behind her. Reaching the top of the stairs, Erica paused, her chest heaving. She could hear the zombies below, their moans echoing through the building. She had to move quickly, but she also needed to find a way to fortify her position. Scanning the area, her eyes landed on a heavy wooden door, its rusted hinges suggesting it had been long abandoned. Erica moved towards it, her grip tightening on her makeshift weapon. If she could secure this room, she might just have a chance to catch her breath and plan her next move. But as she reached for the doorknob, a sudden realization dawned on her. Asterisk, she wasn't a lone asterisk. Erica froze, her heart pounding in her chest. She could feel the hairs on the back of her neck stand on end, a sense of foreboding washing over her. Slowly, she turned, her grip tightening on the metal shelf she wielded as a weapon. The room was dark, the fading daylight casting long shadows that seemed to shift and move of their own accord. Erica strained her eyes, searching for any sign of movement, any indication that she was not alone. Asterisk, who's there? Asterisk, she called out, her voice trembling slightly. The only response was the eerie silence, broken only by the distant sounds of the mutated zombies below. Erica took a cautious step forward, her gaze sweeping the room. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, that there was something else lurking in the shadows, something far more dangerous than the horrors she had already faced. Suddenly, a flash of movement caught her eye, and Erica whirled around, her weapon raised. A figure emerged from the darkness, its features obscured by the gloom. Erica's breath caught in her throat as she recognized the elongated limbs and twisted inhuman form. Asterisk no. Asterisk, she whispered, her voice laced with horrified disbelief. This was no ordinary zombie. It was another of the mutated creatures, its eyes glowing with an unnatural intelligence that sent a chill down her spine. The creature let out a low, guttural growl, its head tilting to the side as it studied Erica. It was as if the virus had imbued it with a twisted, heightened awareness, transforming it into a predator that was more than just a mindless, ravenous horde. Erica's mind raced, trying to find a way to escape this new threat. She couldn't risk fighting it, not when she was already exhausted and outnumbered. She needed to find a way to get past it, to find a safe haven where she could regroup and plan her next move. Slowly, Erica began to edge towards the wooden door, her eyes never leaving the mutated zombie. The creature watched her every move, its body tensing, ready to pounce. Erica's heart pounded in her ears as she reached for the doorknob, praying that it would be unlocked. The door creaked open, and Erica slipped inside, slamming it shut behind her. She could hear the creature outside, its claws scratching at the worn wood, its unearthly screams echoing through the building. Erica pressed her back against the door, her chest heaving. She was safe, for now, but she knew it was only a matter of time before the mutated zombie found a way in. And beyond that, she could still hear the distant moans of the horde below, a constant reminder of the nightmarish reality she now found herself trapped in. As Erica surveyed the small, dusty room, she realized that she was not alone. Huddled in the corner, their eyes wide with fear, were a group of survivors, a family, by the looks of it. Erica felt a surge of both relief and trepidation. She had found others who had managed to escape the onslaught, but now she would have to find a way to keep them all alive in the face of this evolving, unstoppable threat. Erica's eyes darted around the small, cramped room, taking in the sight of the huddled survivors. A family, a father, mother, and 2 young children. Cowered in the corner, their eyes wide with terror. Asterisk, please, don't hurt us. Asterisk, the father pleaded, his voice trembling. Erica raised her hands, trying to project an air of calm. Asterisk, I am not going to hurt you, asterisk, she said, her tone measured and reassuring. Asterisk, I'm just trying to survive, like you. Asterisk. The father eyed her warily, but some of the tension seemed to leave his shoulders. Erica took a step closer, her gaze sweeping over the group. They were clearly terrified, their faces etched with the haunted look of those who had witnessed unspeakable horrors. Asterisk, what's your name? Asterisk, Erica asked the father, her voice low and soothing. Asterisk, John. Asterisk, he replied, his grip tightening protectively around his family. Asterisk, this is my wife, Sarah, and our children, Lily and Alex. Asterisk. Erica nodded, her mind racing. She needed to find a way to get these people to safety, but with the mutated zombies prowling outside, that seemed like an impossible task. The sound of scratching at the door made them all jump, and Erica whirled around, her makeshift weapon raised. The creature on the other side was relentless, its claws scraping against the worn wood as it sought to gain entry. Asterisk, we need to find a way out of here, asterisk, Erica said, her voice tinged with urgency. Asterisk, those things. They're not like the others. They're smarter, stronger, more dangerous. Asterisk. John's eyes widened, and he quickly gathered his family closer. Asterisk, what are we going to do? Asterisk, he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Erica's mind raced as she scanned the small room, searching for any potential escape routes. The windows were boarded up, and the door was the only way in or out. She knew they needed to move, but the thought of venturing out into the hallway, with those mutated creatures lurking, filled her with dread. Suddenly, a faint sound caught her attention, the distant rumble of an engine. Erica froze, her ears strained to pick up the noise. Asterisk, do you hear that? Asterisk, she whispered, her eyes meeting John's. John nodded, his expression hopeful. Asterisk. It sounds like a vehicle. Asterisk, he murmured, his grip on his family loosening slightly. Erica felt a surge of adrenaline. Asterisk, that could be our way out. Asterisk, she said, her voice low but determined. Asterisk, we need to get to it, before those things find us. Asterisk. The scratching at the door grew more frantic, and Erica knew they had to act quickly. Turning to the family, she steeled her resolve. Asterisk, stay close to me, asterisk, she said, her gaze sweeping over each of them. Asterisk, and be ready to run. Asterisk. Without waiting for a response, Erica gripped her weapon tightly and pulled the door open, bracing herself for the onslaught. The door burst open, and Erica burst into the hallway, her makeshift weapon swinging wildly. The mutated zombie let out an ear-splitting screech as the jagged edge of the metal shelf sliced through its flesh, black ooze splattering against the walls. Asterisk, run. Asterisk, Erica shouted, her voice cutting through the chaos as the family surged out behind her. They raced down the hallway, the sound of the creature's agonized howls echoing in their wake. Erica's heart pounded in her chest as she led the way, her eyes darting from side to side, searching for any sign of the approaching horde. The distant rumble of the engine grew louder, and she knew they had to reach the source of the sound before the mutated zombies caught up to them. Rounding a corner, Erica spotted a set of double doors, their glass panels shattered. Asterisk, there. Asterisk, she yelled, her voice hoarse with exertion. Asterisk, that's our way out, asterisk. The family followed closely, their footsteps pounding against the cracked linoleum. Erica could hear the shuffling of the undead behind them, the eerie moans sending a chill down her spine. As they neared the doors, Erica caught a glimpse of movement outside. A vehicle, its engine rumbling to life. Asterisk, come on. Asterisk, she shouted, urging the family forward. They burst through the doors, emerging into the fading daylight. Erica's eyes widened as she saw the truck, its tires already spinning as it prepared to take off. Without hesitation, she waved her arm, trying to flag down the driver. Asterisk wait. Asterisk, she cried, her voice desperate. Asterisk, please, help us, asterisk. The truck slowed, and Erica felt a surge of relief. Ushering the family towards the vehicle, she quickly scanned the area, her eyes searching for any sign of the mutated zombies. As they piled into the truck, Erica noticed the driver, a grizzled, middle-aged man with a hardened expression. Asterisk, who are you? Asterisk, he demanded, his voice gruff. Asterisk, I'm Erica. Asterisk, she replied, her tone urgent. Asterisk, please, we need to get out of here. There are things out there. Creatures that aren't like the others. Asterisk. The man's eyes narrowed, but he nodded, his foot pressing down on the accelerator. The truck lurched forward, its tires kicking up a cloud of dust as they sped away from the abandoned building. Erica's gaze was fixed on the rearview mirror, her heart pounding as she searched for any sign of the mutated zombies. But the creatures were nowhere to be seen, and she felt a wave of relief wash over her. Asterisk, thank you. Asterisk, she said, turning to the family. Asterisk, I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't stopped. Asterisk. John nodded, his eyes shining with gratitude. Asterisk. We owe you our lives, asterisk, he said, his voice thick with emotion. Erica opened her mouth to respond, but the sound of a distant explosion cut her off. She whirled around, her eyes widening as she caught sight of a plume of smoke rising in the distance. Asterisk, what was that? Asterisk, she breathed, her heart racing with a mixture of fear and curiosity. The driver's expression was grim. Asterisk, I don't know. Asterisk, he said, his knuckles white as he gripped the steering wheel. Asterisk, but I have a feeling we're about to find out. Asterisk. Erica's heart pounded as the truck sped towards the source of the explosion, the distant plume of smoke growing larger with each passing mile. The driver's jaw was set, his eyes narrowed as he navigated the debris-strewn streets, his grip on the steering wheel unwavering. In the back seat, the family sat in tense silence, their faces etched with a mixture of fear and uncertainty. Erica could feel their eyes on her, searching for some sign of reassurance, but she had none to offer. The world they once knew had been torn apart, and the horrors they had faced were only the beginning. As they drew closer, the scene that unfolded before them was one of pure chaos. Buildings lay in ruin, their structures crumbling under the weight of the devastation. Erica could see the mangled remains of vehicles, their twisted metal frames a testament to the sheer force of the explosion. But it was the creatures that truly chilled her to the core. The mutated zombies, their elongated limbs and jagged teeth, swarmed the area, their movements fluid and coordinated as they descended upon any survivors who dared to venture out. Asterisk, we need to turn back, asterisk, Erica said, her voice tight with urgency. Asterisk. There's no way we can get through that. Asterisk. The driver shook his head, his expression grim. Asterisk. I have to see what happened, asterisk, he said, his foot pressing down on the accelerator. Asterisk. Maybe there are other survivors, people who need our help. Asterisk. Erica opened her mouth to protest, but the words died on her lips as the truck rounded a corner, revealing a horrific sight. A group of people, their faces etched with terror, were trapped inside a collapsed building, the mutated zombies closing in on them. Without hesitation, the driver steered the truck towards the survivors, his expression set with determination. Erica gripped the door handle, her heart racing as she prepared for the inevitable confrontation. As the truck came to a stop, the driver grabbed a crowbar from the floorboard and flung open the door. Asterisk, stay here, asterisk, he barked, his eyes fixed on the horde of zombies. Erica watched, her breath caught in her throat, as the driver charged into the fray, his makeshift weapon swinging with brutal efficiency. The mutated creatures screeched and thrashed, their unnatural limbs lashing out in a frenzied attempt to defend themselves. But the driver was relentless, his movements fueled by a desperation to save the trapped survivors. Erica could see the bodies of the zombies crumpling to the ground, black ooze seeping from their wounds as the driver carved a path towards the building. Asterisk, we have to help him. Asterisk, Erica said, turning to the family. Asterisk, I can't let him face those things alone. Asterisk. Without waiting for a response, she grabbed her own weapon and followed the driver, her heart pounding in her ears. As she drew closer, she could see the trapped survivors, their faces etched with hope as they caught sight of the approaching rescue. Erica gritted her teeth, her grip tightening on her makeshift weapon. This was no longer just about survival. It was about finding a way to fight back against the nightmarish creatures that had taken over their world. And she was determined to do whatever it took to help these people, no matter the cost. Erica charged into the fray, her metal shelf cutting through the air with a sickening thud as it connected with the mutated zombies. The creatures thrashed and screeched, their inhuman movements a testament to the horrifying evolution of the virus. Beside her, the driver fought with a ferocity that belied his gruff exterior. His crowbar rose and fell, each strike aimed with deadly precision, as he carved a path towards the trapped survivors. Erica could feel the adrenaline coursing through her veins, fueling her every move. She refused to be cowed by the nightmarish creatures, her determination to protect the innocent fueling her relentless assault. As the zombies fell, one by one, the survivors finally emerged from the rubble, their faces etched with relief and gratitude. Erica could see the fear in their eyes, but there was also a glimmer of hope, a spark that refused to be extinguished, even in the face of such overwhelming darkness. Asterisk, thank you. Asterisk, one of the survivors, a woman with tear-stained cheeks, said, her voice barely above a whisper. Asterisk, we thought we were goners. Asterisk. Erica nodded, her gaze sweeping over the group. Asterisk, we need to get out of here, asterisk, she said, her tone brooking no argument. Asterisk, those things. They're not done with us yet. Asterisk. The driver grunted in agreement, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of the mutated horde. Asterisk, the truck's not far, asterisk, he said, his voice gruff. Asterisk, we need to move, now. Asterisk. Without another word, the group began to move, their pace quickened by the ever-present threat of the zombies. Erica kept her weapon at the ready, her senses on high alert as they navigated the debris-strewn streets. As they neared the truck, a sudden movement caught Erica's eye, and she whirled around, her heart racing. A lone mutated zombie, its elongated limbs and unnaturally sharp teeth, emerged from the shadows, its movements fluid and predatory. Erica braced herself, her grip tightening on her weapon, but before she could strike, the driver stepped forward, his crowbar raised high. Asterisk. I got this one. Asterisk, he growled, his expression grim. The zombie lunged forward, its jaws snapping, but the driver was faster, his weapon slamming down with bone-shattering force. The creature reeled back, black ooze spurting from the gaping wound, and Erica watched, a grim sense of satisfaction washing over her, as it crumpled to the ground, motionless. Asterisk, let's go, asterisk, the driver said, his voice tinged with a hint of triumph. Asterisk, we're not out of this yet. Asterisk. As they piled into the truck, Erica couldn't help but feel a sense of cautious optimism. The world they once knew had been torn apart, but in the face of such overwhelming darkness, they had found the strength to fight back. And as they sped away, the distant rumble of the engine filling the air, Erica knew that this was only the beginning of a long and arduous battle. The virus had mutated, and the zombies were now unstoppable. But they were not alone, and together, they would find a way to reclaim what had been lost, no matter the cost.